Said it is.
I want to make sure it's still going. Alright, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So today is our makeup for, today is going to be Friday. They had something in the masjid yesterday, so we had to cancel the class at Livestream. We were here, but then we weren't here, so Livestream. We were here, and we had to go. It's going to be Friday. Wow. All right, so we're on, let me see, chapter 110, yes? Yes. All right, chapter 110, قال الإمام البخاري رحمه الله تعالى من صنع إليه معروف فيكافئه. Hold on a second. Oh, sorry, Safe. I wrote in Safe's book. I grabbed his and wrote all the notes in. I was like, where are the notes at, man? Because I was like reading through these hadith today. I was like, wait a second. I wrote in my son's book. All right. So, باب من صنع إليه معروف فليكافئه. All right, here, من صنع إليه معروف. What does that mean?
Whoever does something good for you, like a favor.
Yeah, any type of ma'ruf is anything from good, anything that benefits you and helps you. All right. فَلْيُكَافِئْهُ. Al-mukafa'ah is what?
Learn paying back. Or do something equal to him back.
Well, you do something equal, aw ziyada. You give him back something equal or more. All right, so it can be equal or bimithlihi aw ziyada. Aw bi ziyada. All right. So if anybody does any good for you, you try to repay him by either giving him something equal in good or extra or more than what he gave you. So we're on hadith number 215. Hadathana Sa'id. And there's a difference. I think here they said it's actually another nuskha said it's Sa'd. But here is Sa'id. Sa'id ibn Ufayr قال حدثني يحيى ابن أيوب عن عمارة ابن غزية عن شرحبل مولى الأنصار. شرحبل أصله هذا شرحبل ضعيف. All right. Shurahbil his name is Shurahbil ibn Sa'd. All right. The asl of it is that he is da'if, but called Tubi'. Tubi' means that what?
Followed.
Yeah, like the people followed up with a lot of his narrations, and then they found out that his narrations they do agree with the narrations that are authentic. So this hadith, at the very least, is like Hasan li-ghayrihi. So the hadith itself will not be da'if because of the, the fact that it's called Tubi', but other than that, yeah, he's weak. But the hadith is Hasan, inshallah. All right, and Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, radiyallahu anhuma, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من صنع إليه معروف فليجزئه. So whoever is like some type of good is done for that person, then he should reward the person that did that good for him. فإن لم يجد ما يجزئه فليثني عليه. And if he doesn't find what he can give to the person as a reward for doing something good, then he should praise him, speak good about him. Like, oh, mashallah, this person's a good person, he helped me out, just speak good about him. فَإِنَّهُ إِذَا أَثْنَى عَلَيْهِ فَقَدْ شَكَرَهُ. Because if he speaks good about him, then he's thanked him. Because thanking here is with what? Part of thanking is with the tongue. He's done it with the tongue because he wasn't able to do it with what? By giving him something that would stand as a reward. وَإِنْ كَتَمَهُ فَقَدْ كَفَرَهُ. And if he hides the good that this person's done, then he's what? Kafara here means what?
Thankful to him.
Yeah, he's been ungrateful. Then he's been ungrateful for the good that this person's done for him.
Safe. I have to hold the ice cream. No, Abdullah, you're gonna go downstairs.
You forgot the ice cream, huh?
Because I brought ice cream.
Oh, you brought your ice cream, but you didn't bring the people.
Bring the box of ice cream.
I
don't want.
He's got ice cream in his pocket, man.
Oh, yeah.
He had it in his pocket. All right, and after that he said, وَإِنْ كَتَمَهُ فَقَدْ كَفَرَهُ. وَمَنْ تَحَلَّ بِمَا لَمْ يُعْطَى فَكَأَنَّمَا لَبِسَ ثَوْبَيْ زُورٍ. Alright, this is the ibara from the Arabs. Alright, which means what? Man tahalla. Man tahalla, it means what? To adorn oneself. To adorn oneself. Man tahalla bima lam yu'ta. So whoever adorns oneself with what he has not been given. What does that mean? You're free to answer if you got an answer. Come closer. What does that mean? To adorn oneself with what he hasn't been given. To lie and to say things about yourself that you don't have.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, well, back in the old days, we used to call it flogging. I don't know if, you still use that terminology nowadays? Like he's flogging, man. Like he's like saying, I got this, but he knows he ain't got nothing. He lives in the projects talking about he's got a yacht. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got a yacht in the bathtub, you know. And even that's not a yacht, it's still like a canoe, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So this is a person who lies about the things, like he's trying to make the people think that he has things that he doesn't have. So it's like a person. Where are you from?
Yemen.
Okay, so you're about to love this example. All right. So when I lived in Yemen, a lot of you see some of the Yemenis that go to like the Emirates and they'll work for a little while, right? Now, what's the one condition of him coming back from the Emirates? He's got to come back with a Land Cruiser, right? Because he has to show the people that he was in the Emirates what? Making money, right?
Yeah.
So he's got to show this. Now, he probably doesn't have the money for the gas for the Land Cruiser. Because maybe he was in the Emirates working for a restaurant, you know, but he's going to save up all his money so he can come back to say, look at me, man, I'm working in the Emirates and I got money, right? And this is from that bad. You know, you're trying to show off with things that you don't, you know, you live within your means. You know, whatever you have, there's no aib alayk akhi to go overseas, work and come back with a Toyota Corolla. You know, there's no aib akhi. Alhamdulillah, you made halal money, you bought a halal car. You don't have to show off for the people. But some people, because of the culture and, you know, just, you know, the taqaleed, it makes them feel like I have to do this, and you don't. So this is not what we have class. So this also comes in another hadith. This comes in another hadith, which a similar wording from Asma bint Abi Bakr, radiallahu anhuma, when she said, "Qalat inna imratin qalat ya Rasulullah." All right, so a woman came and said to the O Messenger of Allah, "Inni li zawjan wa li darra." All right, inna li zawjan wa li inna li zawjan wa li darra. What is a darra? The bod. What? I wrote in your book, by the way. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong book. That's actually my book. You see how clean the pages are? Sorry. Huh?
Like Hajjah?
No.
Another woman.
Thank you. MashaAllah. See? Inna li zawjan wali darra. That means that my husband has another wife.
That's two wives.
Yeah, he has two wives.
Cool.
Yeah, so she's the other wife, like, but in the Arabic language, it's a barra, yeah. So, mashallah. Why can't you answer, Abu Yemen?
I'm still working on getting a first wife.
You still working on putting that ice cream in your mouth, all right. You don't want no ice cream, Akhi? You don't want none? All right, so she said, right, إن لي زوجا ولي ضرة وإني أتشبع من زوجي. All right, what does that mean, أتشبع? Huh? No. I'm reading the shahid for this hadith. This is from outside. This hadith that I'm reading is in Bukhari. Huh? وأتشبع. What does that mean? Just think, all right, Shab'an. So you know Shab'an. What is Shab'an? Shab'an. What does that mean? All right. So, say that you're the host, and you have guests, and you want the guests to eat. So what do you say? Ya kulu ya jama'a, ana shab'an, khalas, ana qad akalt. But you're not. You're probably, when they leave, you might go eat with your family, but you just want the guests to eat, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you say, Ana shab'an akhi. It's something, you know, you're saying that you're shab'an, but you're not. So now this is called at the shabba. That means that you pretend to be full, but you're not. Just like if you were to go to like maybe like somebody's house and they're serving something that you just don't like it, you know. You say, oh no, akhi, jazakallah khair, you know, I'm really full, I can't. But you're not. Like, maybe you didn't eat all day, you know, but you're just saying this because you just don't want to eat. All right, so you say at the shabba. So it means to pretend that you're hungry, you're full, but you're not. What it means also, it's used in this scenario to pretend that you're something that you're not. All right. So she said, you know, so she said at the shabba min zawji. So she says that I pretend that I have all of this from my husband. Who is she doing this to? Is she doing this to her husband, or is she doing it to the other wife? You're going to see in a second. She's doing it to the other wife. She goes up to the other wife and said, "Aqulu a'tani kada wa kasani kada wa huwa kada." She goes to the other wife and say, "Oh, you know, he gave me this and he clothed me with this," and she says, "All of it's a lie. You know, all of it's a lie." And then the Prophet, فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المتشبع بما لم يعطى كلابس ثوبي الزور. And now why did he say ثوبي الزور? Now we know what zur means, right? Zur means, well, most of us know what zur means. You speak Arabic?
No, I can read it. But
Where are you from originally?
I'm mixed. My dad's white, my mom's Mexican.
Okay. All right. So no Arab.
Yeah.
All right. So what? All right. Azur, it means what? But it's a kadhib that the people try to make it look like the truth, like a mazawwar, you know. Something that's mazawwar is, fake or counterfeit. Yeah, so he tries to make it look like the truth, but it's not. It's not the truth. So it's a zur, because you bring a witness in to say, yeah, I saw him do this, but the witness is lying and you know he's lying. Shahadat zur. But it looks like it's truthful. It looks like, because he brought in a witness and looks like he's speaking the truth, but no, it's a shahadat zur. All right, so zur is a lie, basically, but it's a lie that appears like it's truthful, it's counterfeit, it's fake. All right, so he said, labisi thawbay zur. What is the thawbay amongst the Arabs? The hulla, we spoke about the hulla before. The hulla, what is a hulla? It's a rida and a izar. So that's the two clothings. So what does the rida cover? Not the rida, I'm sorry, the izar. What does the izar cover?
The lower part.
The izar covers from the surah all the way down to like nisfu sa', right? It covers the lower extremities of the body. And the rida covers what? The upper part of the body. It covers all the upper part of the body. So now if you're wearing a rida and an izar of zur, what does that mean? That you're covered in lies. You're covered in falsities. You're covered in your whole body is like you're covered in falsehood. Yeah. So this is what it means, you know. So just imagine that kalabisi thawbay az-zur, that you're completely covered in lies and falsehood. Your whole body, you know. So here, going back to the hadith, so here the Prophet ﷺ said, وَمَنْ تَحَلَّ بِمَا لَمْ يُعْطَى. So it's similar. And it means that he tries to show the people that which that he doesn't have, you know, is a lie. فَكَأَنَّمَا لَبِسَ ثَوْبَيْ زُورٍ. So it's like he's worn a thawbay azur, like the thawbay, the izar and the rida of just lies, falsehood. All right, so that's a major thing. So I mean, a person, he's pleased with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. And he doesn't have to show off for the people. He doesn't have to sit here and try to act like something. He's got something that he doesn't have. And the worst of all of the thiyab of zur that a person can wear is what?
Nifaq.
No, to pretend and show to the people that he has knowledge.
Oh.
You know, and he goes up and leads the people astray. That's the biggest of all evils. Because he earns the people's trust, and he says, oh no, this is the sunnah, brother, this is the sunnah, but he leads the people astray. Next thing you know, riba, interest becomes halal, selling alcohol becomes halal, selling lottery tickets becomes halal, all because of what? This person pretending to have knowledge that he doesn't have. He never sat with the ulama. As we've seen, a man, like the issues today are from a guy, he studied hotel management in Egypt, and he comes back here and announces himself as Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, and now he's going around giving fatwa that are leading the people astray. So it's always, you always need to know who you're taking knowledge from.
Wouldn't nifaq al-akbar be the biggest rule? Nifaq al-akbar.
No, what I'm saying, the biggest danger for the people is that the person comes out and pretends that he had, no, because the nifaq that's a whole different issue.
Like nifaq during the time, like the hypocrites during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like, إذا جاءكم المنافقون يقول, so they would tell the Prophet.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're doing it out of iman, with ta'an al-kufr.
But it wouldn't be that be zur because they're lying.
No, but that's not something that they physically or something that they've been given. They were given the chance of becoming mu'minin, they rejected it, and they kept that kufr in their hearts.
No, what I meant from Shah al-Zur because they said nashhadu innaka la Rasulullah. So that obviously they told the Prophet. To him, they told the Prophet.
Yeah, but they know he's the prophet. They know it.
Okay.
But they don't. It's just their kibr and their arrogance that make them reject it. Even the Yahud knew that he was the prophet. Well, because he wasn't from them, they rejected it. But they knew. They were sitting there waiting, and all the signs. They knew all the signs. So I mean, no, that's a whole different issue.
I know, I'm not saying you're wrong. Because Allah also said in the ayah.
I'm saying what that is, that's way worse. That's nifaq al-i'tiqadi. هذا في الدرك الأسفل من النار. That's a whole other issue. That's in the lowest pits of the hellfire. So I mean that's yeah. But this, no doubt, the person constantly doing stuff like this could, sadly lead to something like that.
Like Allah called them in the same ayah, like وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ لَكَاذِبُونَ.
Now, what I was talking about, I'm talking about the worst case of this scenario. The person pretending to have something that he doesn't have. Is a person that, you see a lot of these brothers that come back, I've seen it, Akhi, because you gotta understand, I was in Yemen for 15 years and I was in Saudi for 6 years. I see these brothers come back, and some of these brothers, some of them I know them, some of them I don't, I know of them. But you get some brothers, they were over in Saudi Arabia, I know. They were teaching English just like everybody else, sitting with the ulama on the weekends. But when he comes back to America, he's got the ghutra ironed out. He wants to dress like a sheikh. Actually, you don't have to dress like, don't act like something that you're not. Just come here, you come to America and teach the people. Akhi, you don't have to put on a show. This is not a costume party, Akhi. Dress like we dress in America and be like how we are, dress like a Muslim. But you don't have to put on the show. I lived in Yemen for 15 years, Akhi. I love the Jambia. I love the Imama. I love that. But that's just not how we dress here. You understand? I would love to get up on the minbar with my thobe and the Imama tied up. And I was over there tying the thing up yesterday, right? I was just walking around the house with the Imam on just to make sure I could still tie it properly. But, I mean, that's just the reality, Akhi. I don't, we're not calling the people's cultures. Just trying to call it the Quran and the Sunnah. You dress like a Muslim, you act like a Muslim. You don't have to go put on the show like you're some big island from Saudi wearing a bisht and you're wearing a ghuthra with the iron, with this, the starch in the middle. And, come on, Akhi, this is not a costume party, Akhi. This is deen. Come here and teach the people. Teach the people. You see a lot of the ulama from before, they didn't have those types of concerns, They'd be up there as kufis all to the side and, I'm almost done. So, just come and teach the people. Give the people the knowledge that you have. And khalas, you don't have to put all these theatrics on. All right. So, beautiful hadith. The hadith is hasan, obviously, because of all the shawahid. This hadith, the asl of it is authentic anyways. So even without the issue of Shurah bil, but like I said, Shurah bil called Tubi', so even his hadith is accepted because of that. So, hadith number 216. What's going on there? Y'all haven't said anything about the comment section.
Well, because there's questions.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second, inshallah. حدثنا مسدد قال حدثنا أبو عوانة عن الأعمش. I love الأعمش. Allah يرحمه. Any other stories from الأعمش? Anybody got something? You can't do it with all that ice cream in your mouth.
No, I do. It's during this, I'm sorry. One time.
You got some water, right? No, I'm just making sure.
One time during the time of Al-A'mash, someone came to Al-A'mash, right? And he had a letter from the Amir of Al-Kufa. He said like هذا like ورقة من الأمير أن تحدثني.
Oh no, I know this story. This is about to get really ugly.
So someone
He wrote to him. Yeah, go ahead.
So someone went to Al-A'mash, and those who don't know, Al-A'mash is a very, very, very big scholar in hadith.
But he's really rough.
He's very tough in his manners. So someone came to Al-A'mash, and this person, he had a letter from the ruler or the leader of Kufa. He went to Al-A'mash, and the ruler was like, the letter was from the ruler that you narrate hadith to the person given to Al-A'mash. Al-A'mash, he took it, وَأَعْطَاهُ شَاةً عِنْدَهُ تَأْكُلُ. Al-A'mash, he took the paper, وَأَعْطَاهُ شَاةً عِنْدَهُ تَأْكُلُ.
No.
Yeah, that one. There's that one. This is Al-Usaymi.
No, you mix it. No. He mixed up two stories.
No,
I'm telling you, go find it in Sirah A'lam al-Nubala.
That's one that he mixed.
No, he mixed it up, not you.
Okay.
No, he mixed it up.
Okay.
That one, the leader of Kufa wrote to him, and he said, "Hadithni, like write me back hadith." So he wrote Surah Al-Ikhlas. Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad. He wrote it back to him and sent it. He's like, "Ya jahl, anta tadhun ana ma a'raf hadhihi surah?" When he said, "Ya jahl, anta tadhun ana ahaddath an-nas bil-fulus, bil-mal." And that was his response to him. Go look the story up. He said, the guy wrote to him, the leader, this is the leader of Kufa. He said, so he wrote to him, Qul huwa Allah. He wrote to him Surah Al-Ikhlas and sent it back to him. He said, give him that. So he got the letter and he read it. He said, man, and so he wrote back to Amash. He said, you ignorant fool. Do you think I don't know Surah Al-Ikhlas? Because he's a half of the Quran. And then he wrote him back. He said, oh, you think that I sit here and sell my deen with money? You think I'm selling hadith for money? So that was like the way that he dealt with that situation. But the other situation that you're talking about was he invited some students into the house. And he fed them. But they just ate like voraciously, And then he went back out and he got the food for his sheep. And he went back into the students and he said, yalla. قال أكلتم طعام أهلي خذ الطعام حق الغنم كذلك. So he said, you already ate all my family's food because all they had was like bread. I think it was just bread, but they ate up all the bread. He said, you ate all the bread of my family, now eat the food from my sheep too. And he threw that down and told them to eat, Yeah, it was just the two stories they mixed up. Like I said, it's not you. Go back and read it. Sirah A'lam al-Nubala. Oh, he's a trip, man. Allah yarhamu. Allah yarhamu. A rough guy. Rough guy.
Told him a story when Al-A'mash, when he yelled at someone in the class, he said, do you want him to be as ignorant as you? Or do you want to be him stupid like you?
Yeah, he was rough, but sometimes the people deserve it, akhi. I mean, like, every time that I read Al-A'mash, the stories, I just picture, like, the Bedouins, those guys from the village in Yemen. Those rough dudes when they come to Sana'a, I saw one of these guys one time. I told you that story. And this was on Shatter 16 in Sana'a. Going to the airport. We were up around, where Yali's at. You're from, Yali, right? What Shatter is that? Shatter Ish? Baghdad. Shatter Baghdad. Yeah, Qarib min Markaz al-Libya. But on 16, but close to that, close to Shatter Baghdad. So this old guy, he's with a stick. He's walking across Shatter 16, akhi. That's crazy, right? Yeah. It's a death sentence. Even we had one student, but it was a female student. She was trying to cross 16, boom, she got hit by a semi, man. Dissolved her. Like, there's nothing left to bury. Like, killed her instantaneously. That's a dangerous street, right? This guy's just walking. And the taxi, and the taxi's coming full speed. Boom, and hit him. The guy gets off. And he gets up, he grabs a stick. He's like, "Ya akhi, ish fake? Ma tubsirni anta." It's like he started hitting the taxi with his stick. The traffic stopped just so he could finish walking across 16. I was like, man, that's an A'mash right there. Yeah. You understand the story?
He got hit by a truck?
No, he got hit by a taxi. The taxi stopped and he hit him. And he had his little stick, his walking stick, like the old men in Yemen, they had that walking stick from the village. And he popped up, akhi. I'm like, serious? I thought he's dead. I'm like, this dude's dead. He just popped up and he started beating the taxi. Right, you don't see me? You can't see me? It's like, dude, you're on Shatter 16, man. Yeah, you see some craziness, but that's I can picture that. And A'mash, mashallah. All right, so and Mujahid. Mujahid, who is this? The famous Mujahid.
Mufassir.
Yeah, the famous Mujahid, the student of Ibn Abbas.
Tabari quotes him a lot.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. All right, عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من استعاذ بالله فأعيذوه. So here he said من استعاذ بالله فأعيذوه. What does that mean?
Protect him.
Yeah, if somebody comes to you seeking protection from harm, give him refuge, give him protection. You know, and obviously this does not mean a criminal. A person who's a criminal and he's running from the law, what? Do we give this person protection? No, what is this called? What's the hadith for this? Look it up. It says, Man awa muhdithan. Man awa muhdithan. A lot of people, they use this hadith to mean Ahl al-Bid'ah. To give like protection and a forum and a platform to Ahl al-Bid'ah, which is a part of it because it said, Man awa muhdithan.
لعن الله من آوى محدثا.
Yeah, la'na. So this is a curse of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. But what it is what? Man awa muhdithan, it means whoever gives refuge to a fleeing criminal. Like, you know, to help him to escape the law or the punishment. We don't do this, you know. Now, here we live in the West. So there's a little bit of difference now. We're talking about a Muslim country. If a person commits crimes in a Muslim country, we're turning them over to what? We're turning them over to the Muslim police. We're not turning them over to the kuffar. So here, no, like just go away. Actually, I didn't see you. This is I got nothing to do with you, but don't come near me and just stay away. I didn't see you. But we're definitely not gonna turn them into no kuffar. Never.
Abdul Malik موجود.
Huh?
Abdul Malik موجود.
Allah yahfadhu. He's back and opening. But as far as in a Muslim country, now we're talking about people committing crimes in a Muslim country. No, that's not tolerated.
I seen Abdul Malik when I was there.
Huh?
I seen Abdul Malik when I was there.
Yeah, you didn't go out. You didn't come with us for pizza. Where were you on Friday, actually?
Yeah, I had to take the other brother home.
Oh, why didn't you just bring them with you? Hey, man. Huh?
لا.
Oh, okay. He had to take the brother home.
No, لا. That brother, لا.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He had to take the brother home.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. All right, so this is for, like, for example, the people are trying to cause them harm. This is not a criminal. This is a person who just whatever. Some people are trying to cause him harm. He comes to you and he's seeking your protection. Give him protection. All right, give him protection. You know, and keep him and protect him from that harm. All right, but not a criminal. All right, we don't aid criminals and we don't aid criminal behavior. All right.
One question. So you said that if like someone like seeks protection, you guide him. I mean, you protect him, right? Allah said in Surah At-Tawbah, "When أحد من المشركين استجارك فأجره حتى يسمع كلام الله." Does that also go for mushrikeen or no?
Yeah, حتى يسمع كلام الله. If they seek peace with you, and they فأجره, and bring them in, and so that for the purposes of dawah.
So like,
Because he's not coming at you as an enemy to fight you and kill you. He's coming at you as a peaceful person. It's the same thing like a Christian. They come and they want to, like for example, they live in a Muslim country as a musta'min or mu'ahad, and you give them that, they're allowed to live there, khalas. And nobody is allowed to harm them. And nobody harms them. Even though the Prophet ﷺ mentioned about the mu'ahad, he said, "Man qatala mu'ahadan lam yurih ra'ihat al-jannah wa inna rihaha la tasiru 40 aaman." So he said, whoever kills a mu'ahad, what is a mu'ahad? What is a mu'ahad?
Like a kafir who's under Muslim rulership.
Yeah, where he's not a dhimmi. A dhimmi is a person who pays jizya. He's under the control of the Muslim countries, but not the direct control. Because they're still a kuffar country, but they pay the jizya to the Muslim countries. So they're still under their rulership, right? But the mu'ahad is the one who comes and gets permission to live in the Muslim country. All right, so he's given refuge, like he's allowed by the wali al-amr from the people in authority to come in and live in the country, do whatever. If he's coming in for business or he's coming in to do something, maybe the Muslim country doesn't have a certain doctor, so they bring in a kafir doctor to come in and help out with, with these types of operations or something like that. Yeah, and he said, "Man qatala mu'ahad," and whoever kills this person, lam yurih ra'ihat al-jannah. that he will not smell the fragrance of Jannah. وَإِنَّ رِيحَهَا لَتَسِيرُ أَرْبَعِينَ عَامًا. And he said that the fragrance of Jannah it continues on. You can smell it from 40 years of travel away. You can smell the fragrance, but this person will not smell that fragrance because of what he did, the action that he did. So that's very serious. You know, anybody that's given that refuge amongst the Muslims, and no, it's not permissible for the person to touch that person or harm that person. You know? But it's also not permissible for that kafir to come into the Muslim country and give da'wah to his, you know, but that goes back to the Wali al-Amr. That's not for the Khawarij and you know, Daesh and all these people to kidnap him and kill him. No, it's for the Wali al-Amr to take him and kick him out. And if he comes into the country, he's not allowed to like do ithar of his deen amongst the Muslims. You know, he can do it in private amongst himself, but he can't go out and say, you know, hey, Yemeni students, hey, you guys come to my house, you know, I'm gonna invite you over for dinner, and then he pulls out a Bible and starts teaching them about Jesus and no. So in that case, no, it's not permissible, and it's, you know, the Wali al-Amr should be informed of this, and he should be kicked out of the country. He's not, but he can, as long as he's in the country obeying the rules of Islam, you leave him alone. But even under this circumstance, even if he's doing this, it's not permissible for a person to just go and say, you know what, I'm going to take him out. You know, he's a kafir calling it. No, it's not permissible. And you'll be held accountable for that. And that still falls under this hadith. Because he came in with the permission of the Wali al-Amr. You inform the Wali al-Amr, and it's upon the Wali al-Amr to kick him out. Yeah.
So Allah said, obviously, regarding the same verse I mentioned, فَأَجِرْهُ. Does this mean like if any kafir walks up to me or walks up to a Muslim and seeks security? Does that mean
No. This is talking about for the government.
Okay. Or is it like just something happened because it's in Surah At-Tawbah, or does it have to do with the Muslims and the Jews? Or so what's the context? Because didn't the Muslims and the Mushrikeen they had a ahad, they had a contract, and then the people of Shirk
Go look
broke
it up in the tafsir right now. You keep acting like I'm Shankiti, akhi. Come on, man. While you're looking it up, we'll finish it up, inshallah. We'll come back to that once you find it. So he said, وَمَنْ سَأَلَ بِاللَّهِ فَأَعْطُوهُ. And whoever asks by Allah, that means أَسْأَلُكَ بِاللَّهِ. You know, if he asks you by Allah, then what? Then give him. But this is not for something that might cause the person harm or something that might bring difficulty on the person. So you can't go up to a person and say, أَسْأَلُكَ بِاللَّهِ أَعْطِينِي سَيَّارَتَكَ أَخِي. No, this is not the case. But if it's something that you need, it's something like, you know, and you see that the people, they're just not trying to help you, or they're not, and then you go up, look, akhi, I really need to pay this bill, as'aluka billah, you know, and I know you have it, and it's not going to cause you any harm if you help me out. In that case, what? Give it to him. Help him out, you know. But other than that, you can't go up and say, you know, as'aluka billah, and a'tini baytik, a'tini zawjatik, and something stupid like that, you know. Nah, this is crazy, akhi. You know, it's not for every single thing. And the person should fear Allah. Also asking, well, you know, he should only ask, in the name of Allah, he should only ask for things that are very dire and very, very important. He should not just use this as a way to get like free food at the, you know, go to like one of the Muslim halal restaurants and say, Ya akhi, asaluk billah, atini cheeseburger. You know, it's like, give me a cheeseburger, you know. Nah, it's not for that. You use it for situations that are dire. Situations that also don't cause the person that you're asking harm. And he said, وَمَنْ آتَى إِلَيْكُمْ مَعْرُوفًا فَكَافِئُوهُ.
Sorry.
No, we'll get to it, inshallah. He said, and whoever asks, whoever who comes to you with some good, فَكَافِئُوهُ. Then repay him and give back to him similar to what he did for you, or ziyada, or more. فَإِن لَمْ تَجِدُوا. And if you don't find the means to repay him, or to give back to him, or do something good for him, فَدَعُوا لَهُ. Then make dua for him. Make dua for him. So it's like, you know, in Yemen, you know, one of the beautiful customs in Yemen is like when the neighbor brings you food, you don't just wash the plates and give them empty plates back. What do? No, I'm saying when they make you food and they bring you food to your house, right? Your neighbors.
Yeah.
What do?
Make it
Exactly. You know, you wash the plate, you put more food on it, and you try to give them more food than they gave you. And you send the kids back and say, and send the food back. So this is a way of like mukafa, that you're constantly trying to, like, you know, And this is a good behavior that you find in the Muslim countries. I found it mostly in Yemen. Only in Yemen, because I did not find it in Saudi. It's like, Saudi, I made food for people, give it to people. They're like, no, I don't want it. I'm like, what? I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? I made food, I'm giving it to you, you tell me you don't want it? Oh boy, you know, in Yemen that'll never happen.
Oh, so like when someone brings ice cream, and then someone does want to take it. No, I'm just talking about
Well, maybe it causes some health issues.
My money.
And I brought it in my car from way over there, and you don't want to eat my ice cream. Yeah, man. Wallahi, I miss Yemen so much, man. America, akhi, wallahi, will make you miss Yemen, right? When you go back to Yemen, the lifestyle in Yemen what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to go to Yemen.
Huh?
Yeah, go back. You can see
Yes, it's like the life here is, you don't even know who your neighbors are, akhi.
That's true.
You know?
I know a white guy that lives like that.
Yeah, but it's not like neighbors in Ramadan bringing you food, you taking them food, and sambusas over here, and shafood over there, and you know, come on, man. It's just like, akhi wallahi, the life here is so, it's just so, everybody's just so busy with themselves, man, and the society is set up for everybody just to be focused on their lane and not to be concerned about anybody else, akhi.
I used to have a Pakistani neighbor, like every Ramadan they would like give us like berry on.
This is a Muslim thing. Even I had in Yemen, I had Syrian neighbors. Same thing, like the mother would make us like the orak al-ainab, right, and bring us like
And in Syria it's called kibra.
Oh, I call it ladith. I don't know. Well, I take the whole thing, like 20, 30 of them, they're gone, man. They're gone. I feel like they didn't exist. Explain it to them, because it's your
You know the
food.
grape juice? We were talking about
We were actually talking about yesterday.
You've had them before.
We had
They
like
it's like, I don't want to compare it to like how they roll it up, but they take the grape leaves and they mix, with rice and a little bit of meat and spices and roll them up, and then I don't know how do you steam them or you boil them or what?
I think it like depends on the person.
They sell them at Potted Fresh.
Yeah, but they sell those ones that have been sitting in oil. Now you want them fresh ones, the fresh ones that they make in the
I
house.
think it's mostly spoiled.
Yeah, the ones that they make because oh man, they're good, man. They're so good. Same thing. They'll bring us a whole bunch of grape leaves. My wife will cook food, send the food back on there with their plate with the food on it. That's just akhi. It's just the culture, man. But here, man, subhanallah. You probably go to a kuffar here and send the kids with food with the plates, and you'll never see your plates again, akhi. Just keep it like, I guess he wants us to have new plates, Huh?
كانوا كذلك يعني يعزموننا بشاي حليب وبسكويت.
What's that?
كانوا يعزموننا بعض الأحيان بشاي وحليب هذا بسكويت.
Or the neighbors. Yeah.
سوري.
I used to tell the kids, come up, we got, milk and cookies and all that. So they invite the kids up just to eat that and go down and play. Yeah, man, it's a different culture, man. Talking about Yemen. Yeah. But all right, enough of reminiscing. All right, so فَإِن لَمْ تَجِدُوا فَدَعُوا لَهُ. So if you can't find what you can pay the person back with, then make dua for the person. But wash his plates, though. Clean his plates, though. Wash the plates, send them back the plates clean, and say, I'm sorry, we don't have anything, make dua for them. All right, but that would never happen overseas. It would never happen. There's going to be food on that plate, even if the person has to take out a debt just to get food on that plate. There's going to be food on that plate. حتى يعلم أن قد حتى يعلم, it's really حتى تعلموا. حتى تعلموا. So here, this is in this nuskha. What do you have, Abdullah?
حتى يعلم.
Yeah, but it's حتى تعلموا, because here you see حتى تعلموا أن قد كافأتموه. All right, so the proper wording is حتى تعلموا أن قد كافأتموه, until you know and you're sure that you've repaid him with your dua. All right, what's the tafsir?
No.
Read it. What? Just read al-Baghawi or read Ibn Kathir, because it's quick.
This is Baghawi. I'm reading the thing right. قوله تعالى وإن أحد من المشركين استجارك أي وإن استجارك أحد من المشركين الذي أمرتك بقتالهم وقتلهم أي استأمنك بعد انسلاخ الأشهر الحرم ليسمع كلام الله فأجره أي فأعذه وآمنه.
See, he said استأمنك. That's a musta'man, that's a mu'ahad. That's the person that you give permission to come into and live amongst the Muslims in peace. Go ahead.
وآمنه. And then Allah said حتى يسمع كلام الله. Then فيما له وعليه من الثواب والعقاب. And then Allah said ثم أبلغه مأمنه أي sorry إن لم يسلم أبلغه مأمنه أي الموضع الذي يأمن أو يؤمن فيه وهو دار قومه فإن قاتلك بعد ذلك فقدرت عليه فقاتلهم ذلك بأنهم قوم لا يعلمون أي لا يعلمون دين الله تعالى وتوحيده فهم محتاجون إلى سماع كلام الله. قال الحسن وهذه الآية محكمة إلى يوم القيامة. انتهى كلام.
Yeah, that means it's not mansukha. It's not. And if it says it's muhkam, that means what? هذه الآية المحكمة, that means what?
It's for
And there's غير منسوخة. That means it's still acted upon. There's nothing that came to like make it mansukha. All right. Any questions? We're not doing a. You got a question or something?
going in order, so just so you know. من المسلمين
I guess we know who the first question is.
Says the first hadith, is it an obligation or a recommendation?
No, recommendation.
Recommendation.
Sunnah. If it was an obligation, it would bring difficulties upon people, right? So it's all within the means of the person. If you have the means, do it. You don't have the means, make dua for the person. Wow, mashallah, that was actually a question about the hadith that we took. That, my friend, is a miracle. Go ahead, what's the next one?
Abu Nusayba al-Albani says, what are your thoughts on some Muslims being deceived by Iran and Rafidah, thinking that they will give Islam victory or unite with them against the greater enemy/good?
Yeah, the majority of the Muslims that are getting deceived by this are Muslims that are not even in the masajid. They don't even know the most basic understanding of the deen, and that's because of what we're not doing our jobs of not spreading the knowledge and teaching the people. We can't sit here and blame a bunch of ignorant people for being duped by things because they see voices that are louder than ours. In this case, we feel sorry for the brothers that take this path and of deception, that they've chosen this path of deception. But it also we should be focusing on why. Why is this happening? Why? Because obviously then that means that the knowledge of this deen is not being spread and taught properly. So whose job is that? So again, each person looks at his responsibility. As we've been taking this hadith over and over and over again, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ إِيش مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. The Muslims are the ra'iyah of the people of knowledge. And if you have ghayrah for the Muslimin and you see that this deception is going on, then it's your job to go and teach the Muslims and make sure that the truth gets to the people in a manner that's going to be accepted by the people. Not in a manner of shiddah, not in the manner of like tanfir, where you're doing like tanfir of the people and chasing them out the masajid, but you're teaching the Muslims what they need to know to combat these shubuhat, to combat what's going on. Otherwise, the people are going to continue to fall into this more and more and more, and we're not solving the problem. We don't need a band-aid solution with all of these problems that we have as Muslims. The only solution is to go back and teach the people the Quran and the Sunnah, and teach the importance of Tawheed, and get the people to stop recognizing these celebrity imams and these people on social media that really have no knowledge that are leading the people astray. This is our job. So we can only act within the means of what we can do. But we need to do it better, and we need to start, focusing on this instead of going back and forth with these misguided cretins on social media that all they're trying to do is they're trying to take the people's attention away from what's important. The most important thing is that we're sitting here teaching the Muslims their religion and teaching the people what they need to know to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly and to fight off these shubuhat. If we're not doing that, that's our fault. It's not their fault. They're falling into deception because they're ignorant. You know, and they're falling into deception because the people that are deceiving them have louder voices, have bigger platforms. And I'm not saying that we need to get on social media and act like clowns so we have bigger platforms. We have the masajid. These people that are on the social media spreading this batil, they're not in the masajid. These people out there doing the protests and talking about let's ally with Iran, they're not in the masajid teaching the people. The only platform that they have is social media. So where are we at as far as the masajid and teaching the people here? Each person has to do his job to the best of his capabilities. You know, ya la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. But you have that ability, you know, even if it's with a small people. So here, like how many people do we have here? We don't have a lot. But okay, one person here understands his religion and goes explains it to another person who explains it to another person. It's like a domino effect. You know, and then over time, then we start to get more knowledgeable about the deen and we combat these shubahat. But I mean, it's us not doing our job, period. You know, us and students of knowledge going back and forth over issues, the things that are going on overseas, that aren't even going on here. While the Muslims here are not getting the knowledge that they need. We need to focus on this, teaching the Muslims here and dealing with the situation that we have here. I don't care about some guy in Egypt right now. I don't care about some guy over there because right now it doesn't affect, most of the Muslims don't even know who this person is. You start talking about these people, what do you say about Fulan? What do you say? The Muslims in America don't even know who these people are. These are issues that go on overseas. Leave those issues overseas. While the people here are dying ignorant and falling into all this deception, and we're focusing on what's going on over there. Just like a brother talked to me today about the politics of Saudi. I was like, well, I care about the politics of Saudi and I'm living in Fresno, California. I don't care about the politics of Saudi Arabia. I care about the Muslims here, you know, doing drugs. The Muslims here joining gangs. The Muslims here leaving Islam and not praying. The Muslims here selling alcohol. The Muslims here doing all types of fawahish. That's what I care about. You know, that's my concern. Saudi is the concern of the Saudis. Let them be concerned with it. And we make dua for all the Muslim countries. We want good for all the Muslim countries. We don't want evil for nobody. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we want good for them. But if you don't want good for yourself and you want to fight against the Muslims like the Rafidah and all this, now that's a whole other issue. I mean, for one, that's a whole different issue. It's a whole other issue. But the people fall into that trap because of what? Because of this deception. Because of lack of knowledge. Nah, man, forget that. You know, we have to teach the Muslims. We have to educate the Muslims. It's the most important thing. You know, Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahullah, he always pushed it. A-tasfiyah, qabla ish. A-tarabiyah. We have to teach the people like the wrong ideas. Get the stuff out. Filter the stuff out and clean the hearts out and start putting back in the correct aqeedah and the correct understanding of tawheed and the correct understanding of the sunnah and the correct way to follow it first. And then we can start to build on that. You guys, we want to go start wars and all this stuff, and the people don't even know the meaning of La ilaha illallah. What type of nasr are you trying to expect? You know, we have to start with the ABCs with the Muslims right now, because seriously, Muslims in the West, they're lacking, especially the American Muslims. And, you know, I was talking to my son about this the other day. I was like, subhanAllah, when we have like brothers, you know, we get brothers from Syria, brothers from Sudan, brothers, because one day it was a brother he's from Sudan, right? He was in the class in Fajr. So I'm asking him questions and what? He's answering. And I'm like, I'm not accustomed to like, you know, American Muslims. It's sad because the ignorance, they can't answer. It's not that they don't want to, but it's just that, why? Because the focus on the masajid has never been about what? It's never been about knowledge. How many different messages do you pray in Fresno?
There's like 5 messages here.
About how many of you do you regularly go to?
I go to Masjid Fresno, Masjid Butter, and I'm starting to go here more often.
And how many of these massages sit down and try to teach you Tawheed and teach you the correct Sunnah and try to teach you what you have to know? That's it. You know, so that's what I'm saying. And it's not specific to Fresno. Go all around America. You can go to certain cities in America where they have 10 masajid. And none of them are teaching anything of any substance of the deen. Nothing. Just a bunch of emotional yippity-yap and things that he read in the newspaper and things that he saw on Al Jazeera. You know, yeah, Al Jazeera. Because that's all they care about. They like to publicize the killing of the Muslims. Al Jazeera. All right, so this is all they talk about. But when are you going to sit there and go through the books of hadith and learn the sunnah and learn how to practice the deen correctly? No, this is us. We have to do this. This is our contribution to mankind. You understand? This is the contribution that we can die with, inshallah, but we need to be doing our jobs. Allahumma musta'an. Any other question?
في أحد من الوصال الاجتماعي الذي قد حذرت منه في أحد يمدحك في موضوع الوسائل الاجتماعي قد حذرت واحد من واحد وفي واحد الآن يمدحه. خلي بس.
ماني بالي.
يمدح إيران.
ها؟
يمدح إيران.
لا أحد.
آه،
واحد أنا قد تكلمت فيه بس.
كررت.
المدير الفندق.
نو، هذا من بلاد البريطانية، بلاد البريطاني الذي حاول يجادل عبد الكريم
ما شاء
عبد
الله.
الحكيم.
فتبعه. Sorry. Huh?
Saturday night.
I'll take it, Salah. We don't want to keep you late. Because we're going to be praying Isha like a little bit. Yeah. On the weekends, we pray a little bit later. So.
I have my schedule at 9 start.
Okay, no problem. Sorry to hold you up. Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair for sitting.
Question, I'm going in order. من المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين said,
Well, the order is just, tell the order to stop asking so many questions in a row, huh?
oh, they could ask. What?
Go on with the cronyism. Come on, man.
Are you able to, what does that even mean? No, there was a question.
Cronyism is where you give like you hire your friends
Oh,
and you give them like special favors over everybody else. But you only hire your friends and you put them in the higher positions and you give them all the favors while you just treat everybody else
not like a family business.
yeah.
Um,
Well, that's a different.
wait, this is
Cronyism, your cronies. That's why they get the word. Your cronies, like the people that you bring in. Yeah.
this is besides, you know the Sayyid al-Istifar.
Man, that's the.
Oh, the Sayyid, is it about Sayyid, it's about Hadith?
Huh.
Oh, because the Sayyid al-Istifar, when the Prophet ﷺ taught us, you know, Allahumma anta rabbi la ilaha illa anta khalaqtani wa ana abduka. For a woman, she would say, wa ana amatuka. Okay.
Is that the question?
No, it was just something I was thinking about. I was like, do women say it or do they
Oh
not
no,
say
they
it?
just change it to an amatu. Yeah.
Are you able, this is the question, are you able to please give an example of what zur is? Because when one lies, sometimes it seems like the person is telling the
I
truth.
gave the example, like the zur, with the shahada, that you bring in a person to lie in his testimony. So, but it appears because it's a testimony and everything, it appears that it's truthful, but it's not. Shahada to zur. So you're witnessing zur. It's a lie. So, but like I said, muzawwar is anything that's counterfeited, anything that's fake. And, you know, like we said, you get one of these Reebok shirts, but it's like Feebok or something like that, or something.
Like N1,
yeah.
Thomas Jordan.
Or like is it and 2 or something like that? Yeah, but it's like muzawwar, you know. Brother from Jacksonville got caught on that, man. Bought some Reeboks on Amazon, but didn't pay attention to it. I can't remember what the name was, man. I'm gonna have to ask him, inshallah. He got them, and they look just like Reeboks, but it's like, man, the name was like something like that, like Feebok or something like Peebok or something like that.
Facebook. Same questioner says, what is nifaq al-i'tiqadi?
We talked about it. He said in the insan يظهر الإسلام والإيمان ويبطن الكفر. That he, on outward, he expresses like iman, he shows himself to be a believer, but inside he still has the same beliefs of disbelief.
Basically, the hypocrites in the time of the Prophet. Those who are in the lowest depth of the hellfire. Same questioner says, is it haram?
Yeah, akhi, what is this?
This is in order, wallah, it's in order.
Right,
like,
but you're going to have to give some other people some chances.
Hey, it's first come, first
Same
served.
questioner.
Is it haram for one to give protection to an enemy of Islam and one who...
Alright, listen. We go in order, except for if the same person asks like 5 or 6 questions in a row. Alright, we got to give to other people.
The thing is, no one's asking. And the last question, I think the last question.
Alright, finish
the last
this
question.
one. What is it?
Sorry.
What was the question that you just asked?
No, I had to find it. Is it haram for one to give protection to an enemy of Islam and one who has already heard about Islam but hasn't become a Muslim?
A person who's fighting or openly showing opposition to Islam, then no.
We can tell hyenas to kill him.
No, that's it. Because this is for the people that are not in opposition. They're not standing in opposition to the deen. You know, because you got a lot of kuffar. They don't hate Islam. They don't really care about Islam. You know what I'm saying? They're not enemies of Islam, but they're not friends either. You know, they're just like, they don't really care. You know, y'all do your thing and we'll do our thing. You know, it's like that. That's the majority of the kuffar. The majority of kuffar are not like just open enemies to Islam. So for that, and that's the case, you know, these types of kuffar, you bring them in, you bring them closer, like, so they can get the dawah, learn the deen, learn about, you hear the speech of Allah. But that doesn't mean you take them as friends and companions and hang out with them. That's not what that means. It's not what that means. Some people, they might take that and say, well, you know, I'm giving them refuge, man, and refuge in your house, and you're smoking weed with them. No, that's not that way. It's not. That's not what that means. What's up?
أنا سألتك سؤال من البدايات. الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول في القرآن أنه ينزل البرد من الجبال. ولا يعني بس البرد يجي من الجبال فقط أو يعني من وين؟
I told you to tell me that when I got home, akhi, so I could look it up in the tafsir for you. Yeah, remind me. Put it on your phone, like make a reminder on your phone or something. Huh?
Which one?
No, he wants the tafsir of an ayah. So
Yeah, about the sheep going on the mountain. Salih al-Fawzan, he made fun of the people who like try to say like it goes on. He said it's
no, not the sheep. What are you talking about?
البرق.
البرد.
البرد.
Yeah. So he's saying it's only come down from the. So that's what he's asking. Any other questions? No. I know. No. All right. So listen.
There is.
No, wait, we'll come back to them. Okay. Now, book recommendation for the day. English book recommendation. I don't normally do this. So, thank you for the introduction. All right. Book that I just picked up and I started reading a couple days ago. It's very interesting. It's a book by a Kafir, and I don't normally, you know, recommend these books, but this book was just. All right, so this book, probably some of the people might know it. It's called Atomic Habits, because a lot of people, they sit here and wrote to me and say, hey, man, you need to read this book, you need to read this book. One brother in Saudi is a brother named Razine. He's constantly told me I need to read this book. I don't know how many times. I'm like, man, I ain't reading no book that you... I was like, I ain't, whatever you recommend, I ain't, you know, but he was right. So finally I said, man, let me see this book that the people keep talking about. Now, this is one of those books, I'm just telling you, man, like, you know what, sometimes a kafir, he just like hits the nail on the head. And subhanAllah, then you start to see like where a lot of the people are going wrong. And these are things that a lot of us know, but we don't practice them correctly. So what is he talking about? I'm only going off of like the first 30 or 40 pages of the book. All right? I've not read, I think the book's like 200 something pages, so I haven't even read a quarter of the book yet. But I'm just like, from what I can see, because normally they put the whole understanding of the book in the first couple chapters. And then they start to expound on that more. That's how the kuffar write the books, right? So you pretty much get everything that you need to get out of the book from the first 60 pages. Everything else is just going to be what? You know, prolonging the ideas and giving more examples and whatnot. So this kafir is talking about what? He said, like, the most important thing, you know, because he said that a lot of people, they place all of their importance in goals, and like setting goals and the goal. And he said, but the people that are successful, they don't put the focus on the goal. They put the focus on what?
Oh.
Huh? No. Process. How did you know that? You read the book. You just knew that. The process of getting to the goal.
About the process. Oh, you took it.
Because
okay, he does appreciate.
He did eat the ice cream finally.
All right, take another one.
All right, but all right, Yusuf, explain that. What does that mean? Do they focus on the process?
No, I don't think. About the process?
Yeah.
That the goal is not that. It's not important.
Okay, we got that. The process is important. So what is the process? What is that?
Process like a journey like that.
Well, the name of the book is called Atomic Habits, right? So, and these are like developing small habits each day, like little by little. So it's not about like making drastic changes to your life, but by what? By gradually changing things and just becoming like 1% better. So one of the, like a lot of the times I told the people what Sheikh Yahya he used to tell us all the time in the dars. He said that a student of knowledge, he should never ever go one day without some new benefit. Like you should have been reading, researching, doing something. If you have not gotten something new, learn something new, whether it's a tafsir of an ayah, an understanding of a hadith, an explanation of something that you didn't understand from a book, whatever it is, if you have gone an entire day without getting at least one benefit throughout that day, what does that show?
You're lazy.
I mean, it shows that you wasted that day. Well, you might not have been lazy. You might have been very active in other than what seeking knowledge. Like you might have been building a 2-story house. You're not lazy. You've been working all day. But the point is that you wasted that day because you went out that whole entire day, 24 hours, and you did not benefit anything in your religion that could help you to become a better Muslim. So it's about like those small things and just developing them, because the most important thing is the process, which means, okay, let's talk about memorization of the Quran. And by the way, this is all going into a book that I'm starting to write now, because once I started reading that book, I was like, I got it now. I got it. Because I was been procrastinating about writing this book about the memorization of this, finishing the memorization of the Quran. But now it's like, no. Once I you just need that one little trigger, right? And then everything just, like I said, I haven't even read 40 pages of the book, but it hit, and I was like, oh, there you go. Because when, the things that, like, okay, first off, you want to memorize Quran, right? So what changes in your life do you need to make right now?
Leave off sinning.
Leave the haram. Leave the haram.
All right, these are things that you leave off, but let's talk about the things that you need to start doing. All right, these are things that you shouldn't be doing whether you're memorizing the Quran or not. It's just being a Muslim, to increase your iman, you need to stay away from the haram. So we're talking about habits that you need to develop, not things that you shouldn't be doing in the first place. All right, so what? Well, the very first thing is you need to develop what? A plan. Every single day, you go, you pray Fajr, and you say, I'm going to read this much Quran every single day. Whether it's a juz, 2 juz, 3 juz, whatever. You develop that every single day, right? Yes. What else do you need to develop?
The eagerness. The eagerness.
No, we're talking about habits. We're not talking about... These things all need to be present before you even start. If all that determination and those characteristics, those are inner things.
Program.
Yeah, we're talking about things that you need to change, habits in your life that you need to change to memorize. Now, can you memorize while you're staying up like until 2 o'clock in the morning, watching Sanford and Son or something like that, and eating potato chips and, with salsa dip and, and drinking Pepsi or Dr. Pepper at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then, going to sleep, waking up and praying Fajr in 3 seconds and then going back to sleep? Are you going to do that? So then what habits do you need to, come on, let's stick to the topic.
Healthy diet. Healthy lifestyle.
All right, first off, sleeping schedule. Because healthy lifestyle is a whole broad spectrum. All right, so we want the specific details. Because the only way that you're going to be successful with anything, you have to be specific in the details. Like a lot of people, you tell them what's your goal in life, I want to be rich. Actually, you'll never be rich. Not like that. You need to be specific in what you're trying to achieve. All right, so I want to memorize the Quran. That's not a goal. I want to memorize the Quran in 3 years. That's a goal. And you're specifying, you're putting detail to it. All right, now, so you can't do that, right? So that means now you need to go to bed early. You need to get up early, because when do you need the energy?
Early in the morning.
Yeah, you need that energy early in the morning. You can't be one of those people that stays up all night. Some of the people say, I can stay up all night. No, you can't. I lived half of my life staying up all night when I was young. When I was young, I used to never go to school, man. I used to stay up all night. And I know when you wake up and you sleep from Fajr all the way up until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it takes you 3 hours just to get the motor running again. Your mind is so foggy. But when I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I pop up, I'll go to the bathroom, and I'm ready. I'm getting going. I'm already got Bukhari open. I'm already getting things going. Immediately, within 30, not even 30 minutes of waking up, within 15 minutes of waking up.
Sorry.
All right, within 15 minutes of waking up, khalas, I'm going. Because I already got that good sleep. All right, so you got to fix your sleeping schedule, right? Another habit. What's another habit that you have to develop? You said healthy lifestyle. What's another aspect of healthy
eating
lifestyle?
healthy?
Yeah, you can't be sitting there like going out to like In-N-Out Burger every day. You know, every day I said.
Cut the noise. Oh, every day. He's talking about me.
No, I'm saying once in a while you're going, you know, once in a while. But I mean, okay, if you're eating like a whole large pizza every day and, you know, 2 liter of soda, C4, C4 and a Subway and a cookie this big. And, do you still, oh, don't tell me you went back to the C4s. Is he back on the C4s?
I don't know.
Did he relapse?
Why? What's wrong with them? They're good.
I quit him.
He quit them, remember, in Ramadan.
What's wrong?
No, man, that stuff will kill
That's
you. Bro.
suicide.
The chemicals and stuff they put in there, you just get natural energy. Oh, okay, green tea, grape juice, like fresh grape juice, not.
Muhammad Samal.
All right, so you have to develop like better eating habits, eating less, eating more like healthier food. So you see the lifestyle changes that have to take place. So that's the process. And see, and this is with everything. And for you to be successful in anything that you do, and this is the interesting thing, right? You have brothers that used to be athletes, and they went through this process to be successful in their athletics, right? But they don't do the same thing for the deen. When they come to the deen, it's like they go into rest mode. They don't have that same mindset. They don't bring, see, because that mindset, the people would think like, oh man, he's an athlete, so he already developed that mindset. That mindset does not carry over to something else. You can have a person who has that mindset in athletics coming to the deen, he's the laziest dude on the face of the earth. And then you can have a dude that's in the deen and he's the most hardworking person, put him in athletics, and he fails in every single thing that he does. So it does not carry over like that. So it's the type of habits and the things that you have to develop as a Muslim. And that's the whole point. Like this is the deen, right? This deen it teaches us what? Self-discipline, self-restraint. All right, we have like all throughout the Quran. Like for you to get up and pray and stop everything that you're doing 5 times a day and pray correctly. I'm not talking about those dudes that get whiplash praying because they pray so fast that they have to go to the doctor because they messed up their neck going up and down like a duck, or like a chicken pecking at the food. All right, or like like the Yehudis at the wall. Yeah. No, we don't, but I'm talking about a person who stops everything that he does and gives the salat its rights and establish it correctly. That takes discipline, doesn't it? It takes discipline to stop eating and drinking for 30 days in the middle of summer when it's hot. Like we were in Riyadh, right, in Ramadan. And what's the temperature of Riyadh every single day in Riyadh? 200. It's close. It's like 120 plus degrees every single day of the summer, every single day. You'll never see a day that is like 101 or 99. It's 120, it's like 115 up. But most of the times, once it hits like July, it goes like all the way up to almost 130. So that's hot out here. And you have to fast every single day. But you do it. You do it. Because you have to do it because it's a part of this deen. It takes discipline. It takes self-restraint. And that's the whole thing. Just like how those things make you successful in other things in your life. Like an athlete. I was talking to the brother the other day, right? And what was I talking about? We were talking about some situation, right? And I told him, I said, because we were talking about, relations between a husband and a wife. And then he was talking about like how some brothers, they basically it's this woman's day. But because she's on her menses and he wants to make sure that he does something that day, he'll go and switch days with another wife and do all this craziness, right? And not give that woman her rights. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was talking about. I was telling the brother, because he used to be a professional boxer, right? So I told him, I said, like, okay, you're getting close to a fight, right? What is the one thing that you don't do when you're getting close to a fight? He said, that. Being with the women. I said, why? He said, because it weakens you. I said, exactly. So the same thing. When you sit here doing that all the time, like every 7 days a week, what do you think that's going to do to you? It's going to weaken you. Your body needs to recover. It needs rest, So it's self-restraint. You have to but now what about the person who can't control himself with the haram? He doesn't have the self-restraint to even, because this is what we're commanding. Lower our gaze. Lower our gaze, and not, and don't do any of the things, anything that will push you towards any of the paths that go towards fornication. Haram, everything. Looking at women, talking to women, being alone with women. So that takes a what? That takes discipline. That takes what? Self-restraint. So I mean, these types of characteristics were not successful, akhi, because they're not being developed in the Muslims. Because again, we're not pushing this type of lifestyle of memorization, of studying. So what's happening is now the Muslims, they're not getting these types, the youth. You think they're getting these habits and these understandings and this process that we're talking about in school? So what did I talk about? What did I tell you before the class started? I said I'm going to talk about who? And I said, how am I going to switch this over to the Serenials? How do you think this is going to go over to the Serenials? How do you think so? Do you have an idea? Because you're a smart guy, man. You got the process part, right? What do you think now? How would the Serenials tie into all of this? See, when I was young, like when I first moved to Atlanta, I just happened to be with a brother. Let's say that the brother, in not so many words, without, he went out to another country to do something that a lot of people would love to do. It involves, no, something, an action of in the deen, actually.
Oh.
You can do that here. You don't need to go to another country to do that.
I mean, it's because when someone
wants
goes
to
to another...
fornicate, he can go to Food Max and fornicate. I think that.
But Food Max is that way.
Well, whatever. I'm pretty sure if you keep driving that way, you'll come across a Food Max somewhere. I think.
No, I'm saying because if someone goes to another country, they don't have to worry about their identity.
They don't have to worry about it here. You're in America. Who cares what you do here? The Muslims want to come here so they can do all those things because they can hide here. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to focus. Who's going to know? But no, he went over to do an action of the deen. No. Keep going. Pow, pow. Okay. But this is back in the 90s. Yes. My second son's name. So what he used to do before he left to go do this, because he was young, he was really young, right? So he used to do those Navy SEAL workouts all the time. Back in the 1990s, they had these workout videos. These like Navy SEALs, PT, like Death Wish PT and Industrial PT and all these PT videos, right? So he memorized them all. And when he went over there to do the thing that he was doing, like they noticed like this dude was like ready to go. Like, they're like, man, so he was the one that was heading up the exercise every single day there. And they wanted to keep him as like as a fitness instructor for those people that do that action. Right? We're trying to keep these videos on YouTube, right? This was in
Reddit.
No. I'm saying this is a brother I know. What are you talking about, Reddit?
Reddit strikes again.
What happened to do with Reddit?
I'll take it.
But anyways, man, Reddit strikes again, huh? So
you're the one who told me Reddit strikes again on WhatsApp.
Oh no, that's about the Serenials. All right. so hold on. So when I got to Atlanta, the first thing that he did with me, he said, man, I try to get everybody to do these Navy SEAL workouts, but everybody's scared. And he said, you doing with me? I said, I'll do them with you. Because at that time I was like 21 years old. I used to do like 500 push-ups every other day. 100 pull-ups, like this is just my normal workout, right? 500 push-ups, and then I do 250 dips, and I do like 100 pull-ups. So I was like, whatever, your little Navy SEAL workout, I don't care. They killed me, man, I'm not gonna joke. We finished it, and I had to take pain pills to stand up in Qiyam al-Layl that night. Because I was like, because we did so many push-ups, like, but in a row with no resting. So push-ups, squats, push-ups, squats. We didn't have a pull-up bar, so he said, look, every time we're supposed to do pull-ups, we just do dips. So, oh man. But anyway, so this was like my fascination, like when I was young, right? But then over time, I was like reading, when I was coming out to Fresno, I was reading like, okay, what are all these gangs that they have out in Fresno? Let me, because you want to know the place that you're going to. So I came across the Serenials. I said, it was a very interesting thing is their prison workout, right? You know about this? What's their workout? How many burpees do they have to do every single day? Huh? No, 500. They have like a minimum of 500 burpees that like everybody has to do, and you have like a 90-day period to be able to do them. And if you don't do them, what are they? It's like 90 days or something like this. They kick you out. You're like, you're not a part of us. But when do they do this? They get up every single morning, Akhi, and do this. Every morning. Even when they get out of prison. When I was in Kerman, I used to see them in the park, doing it in the park. I didn't know what they were doing because I hadn't read about this yet. So when I started reading about all these gangs in Fresno, because like I said, you want to know who your neighbors are, who you're dealing with, right? Even though there are no Serranos in Fresno, but, they're outside of Fresno, right? So I used to see them in the park doing these burpees every single day, like right after Fajr. Like, look at the discipline, Akhi. Look at this, man. Look at, these are kuffar, Akhi. They're not doing none of this for the akhirah. They're just doing this because they want to be ready to defend themselves. So what about us, man? What about Muslims? Where is that type of discipline? Where are those types of habits where, you see these kuffar, they can build up these habits just for what? What's the benefit? It's to discipline the people that are underneath them. They want only the people that are what? They want these standards. These are our standards. You can't meet these standards, get up out of here. We don't want you. Right? But here, now amongst Muslims, we're supposed to be a part of the greatest of all mankind on the face of this earth. We have no discipline, no self-control, no nothing, no standards. Like we literally live our lives and just like we let anything happen. I mean, look at the situation of what happened here with the khutbah last week, where like some people, they took it to themselves to not be happy about what I was saying about not coming to the masjid, like smelling like weed and dressing like a gang member. Look at, because we have no standards. Because all of this foolishness has been accepted amongst the Muslims for so long. We've never had standards. Where are the standards? Like, what are the standards today for a person to get up and start teaching the people? What are the standards today for the person to be involved in the idara, the management of the affairs of the Muslim? What are our standards? So we just allow anybody in to do these things. Because we ourselves, we haven't changed anything. We haven't developed the type of things where we have set these standards. Because we ourselves, fa'aqud shay la yarti. And what does that mean? No. I'm testing his Arabic now.
Eshalonik.
Eshalonik.
Because he asked me the other day. He just randomly walks up and says, Eshalonik.
Yeah. That's what they say in this country.
I know, I was like, Eshaloni.
The first time one of them...
They say fun instead of cake.
No, but that's what they do. They told me that one time. He said, Eshalonik.
He thought I was... the same thing. I looked at it, I was like, brown?
Eshalonik, it means like, what color are you? But they mean like, how are you doing?
So when he told me Eshalonik, I was like, what do you mean Eshaloni?
So what does that mean? Fa'aqud shay la yarti. Okay, it doesn't look like he's got the loan today, huh?
AI high? Nah.
He's AI high. Fa'aqud shay la yarti. I'm testing my son now.
Oh, come on. I learned it from him.
ما ادري شو بالضبط يعني مثلا شخص ما عنده شيء ما يحسن يعطيه.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have something, you can't teach it, you can't give it. You can't set a standard if you don't have standards. And you can't discipline people if you don't have discipline. How are you going to do it? The same thing. Like, you look at like the kids and how we raise our kids. If we want our kids to be raised up better, then the standards have to be set by who? Us first. Like me, I'm sitting there and tell my kids to clean up this and clean up this. Go look at my room. I got books all over the place, Akhi. So the thing is, I can't blame them for being disorganized when I just like have books lying all over. Like my whole bed, Akhi, is covered in books right now. Right now, if you go to my house, how many books are on my bed right now? You don't even know, do you? Because you came in the room earlier this morning, right? I called you in there to like look at something on the laptop, right? How many books were you? Well, a bunch, right? All over the bed. It's like almost like a sheet. You can't even see the bed itself because of the books. So how am I going to discipline them? I have to set the standard first. So the same thing, like us as Muslims, we have to set standards, and we have to. This the standard of discipline. So when I read that, I was like, subhanAllah, look at these Serenians, right? Let's look at them, right? They get up and they have the standard of doing 500 burpees. I'm not going to say do 500 burpees every day, because by the time you hit about 50 years old, boy, your rotator cuffs, everything's going to be messed up. But what I'm saying, the act of getting out there and doing some type of workout every single day. So imagine, like, that's what I was sitting there thinking, like, subhanAllah, imagine if we had it where the Muslims came in here, we sat in here for like 1 hour after Fajr, and we read Quran for 1 hour, and all of us put on like, some jogging pants, those long shorts with some high socks, right? You got to get the burpee shorts on, right? I got some of those at home, man. Those things are cool, man. They're comfortable to work out in. Those long shorts, the sweat shorts, the long ones. Yeah, man. No, not the dicky ones. No, the other ones, the sweat shorts. But imagine that. And then we all go outside and work out for like an hour every single day. Then after that, go home, take a shower, eat breakfast, and now you start your day. Now, if you have to go to work, you go to work. You have to, like for me, if I got to go do some research or whatever, go do some research. Imagine the kuffar seeing stuff like that amongst the Muslims, that type of organization, that type of discipline every single day to sit up there and do. But the thing is now, when the Prophet ﷺ said, ينزع الله أني من قلوب أعدائكم what? Al-muhaba. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He takes out from the hearts of your enemies what? Al-muhaba. What is that? Al-muhaba is like that fear, but it's like a fear, it's like a respectful fear that they have of you. Like the enemies, they respect Islam and they fear Islam. So when they look at it, there's like this haiba, with the Muslims.
Integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity.
No, it's not integrity. It's like a respectful fear. It's like a fear of somebody that's formed out of respect, not out of it's not like khawf minhu, it's not because he's like a dhalim, but you just like, man, no, these dudes they're too disciplined. They're gonna mess us up. So that's how they looked at the Muslims from before. But then that muhabba has been taken out of the qulubi a'daikum. It's been taken out. And when they said naza'a, what does that mean? Naza'a means to rip it out. So that means that the enemies of Islam will no longer fear the Muslims. And then he said, and the Prophet ﷺ said, وَيُدْخِلُوا فِي قُلُوبِكُمُ الْوَهْنِ. All right, and then he said that the wahan is going to be put into your hearts. And then they asked him, they said, وَمَا وَهَنْ يَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. And then the Sahaba asked him, what is the wahan that's going to be put into our hearts? He said, حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا وَكَرَاهِيَةُ الْمَوْتِ. He said, love for the dunya and hatred for death. Because of that because now we're too attached to the dunya, we're not ready to do the things that we were ready to do before. We're not ready to stand up and get down and defend. I mean, I'm not saying going out and being aggressive, but standing up and defending what's ours. Because we don't have that type of discipline anymore. And that's what I'm saying. You're taking Muslims now. No discipline, no standards, no nothing. What are we going to do? Honestly, what are we going to do? When we see enemies of Islam, people that are not really enemies of Islam, I wouldn't say Serenials are like enemies of Islam, but they're not Muslim and they don't care about us. But look at the discipline they have as a group. What happens if they catch one of their members doing drugs?
They kick them out or DP.
Yeah, they beat the mess out of them, or they kick them out, or they beat the mess out of them and kick them out. Right? What did they do if they catch them doing a drive-by? Same thing, right? Killing innocent people, they take them out. So you see this. There's like discipline. There's some types of standards. And and even though they're a gang and they're doing things for the sake of Iblis, you think that they're going to be successful with that discipline? Yeah, they're going to find success, but it's not going to be success that's going to earn them pleasure of Allah. It's not going to get them to Jannah, but they'll be successful. They're going to be a feared gang. They're going to be a gang that takes over stuff, and people are not going to mess with them because they're going to see that discipline. They're like, we ain't bothering them. Leave them alone, dude. They do those burpees every day. Not like they're the only ones that do it, but I mean, the way they do it, where they got that one person and then everybody's doing it all in unison. It's like a military training the way they do it. You see, like, where are we at? Everything about our deen teach self-restraint, discipline. We're not supposed to be doing these things in the first place. This shouldn't even be talking to a Muslim. Telling a Muslim that he shouldn't be smoking weed. This shouldn't even be an issue. This should not even be a topic of conversation. That should be like telling a Muslim you shouldn't eat pork. That's like common sense. You're a Muslim. Coming to the masjid smelling like weed should not even be something that we're talking about. We should be talking about those extra things that we should be doing. Those other things, because we've already established that line of, self-discipline, self-restraint. We shouldn't have dudes coming up here hitting on sisters because he can't control himself. That should not be existing because the self-restraint is not there. The discipline is not there. And the Islamic education and the Islamic upbringing is not there. So the same thing. I constantly talk to my kids. What happens sometimes when we go to like Food Max, on a Saturday, Sunday morning, we leave out of Fajr, we go to Food Max. Here comes homeboy from the nightclub. And this happens even during the weekdays. This happened at one time, it was on a weekday. We're going next to a person and he's blasting the music at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, and he's talking, what's the music? You hear the lyrics. I'm gonna F him up. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna do this to him. I'm like, and I'm looking at my son, I'm like, look, Akhi, what do you expect a person who wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning and the first thing that he puts on is music talking about killing people? Do you think that person is going to be successful? Do you think that you have any hope for that person to do something good in society? He starts his day off with this. And then he also ends his day off with it. And then during the day, he's listening to the same music, smoking weed. Now, why is this important? Because what does weed do?
Make you stupid.
No, but there's a specific point of listening to this music and smoking weed at the same time. Weed, it deadens your conscious mind. But your subconscious mind is what? It's still active. But it deadens the conscious mind. When your conscious mind is deadened, what is that deadened? The specific thought process that it deadens is your critical thinking ability. So all of that stuff of saying, no, this is wrong, this is right, that it shuts down, right? So what happens now, you just go into this trance. So you're listening to this music, you're not even paying attention to it. But again, your subconscious mind is what? Is active. So where is that music going? It's going to your subconscious mind. So now what happens when you get into the situation of that the music's talking about? How are you going to react? You're going to react because the first thing that's going to pop up in your subconscious mind is supposed to be what you were taught, the Islamic education that you got. So when you get in these situations, the ayat of the Quran comes up, the hadith comes up, some advice that you got from another Muslim brother, something comes up in your subconscious mind and it stops you. But no, kill him, because that's what you've been listening to the whole time, right? And then on top of that, you're talking about killing your own people. You're listening to music. It ain't about kill the government that's been oppressing you, or take out the. I probably should slow down on this, but you know what I'm saying. It's not about the people who've been doing anything to you. It's kill your neighbor, kill the dude down the street, kill the other guy that lives on the other street because he wears a different color than you. But this is all going into the mind on a daily basis. So we shouldn't even tell Muslims that this stuff is haram. Like this, Akhi, come on, man. This should be like I said, you go to any Muslim talking about what. Did you know the pork's haram? He's going to look at you like what? Like you're stupid, And it should be the same thing with weed. It should be the same thing with the music. It should be the same thing with what? And the dressing like a gang member and acting like this. Come on. But the other things is like the habits, the things that we should be developing, that habit of discipline. We're not developing it because we're not practicing this deen correctly. So we're not developing it because we're not developing all those other things. We're just come to the masjid, pray, leave. That's it. Fast our Ramadan. Ramadan's over. Let's eat a whole bunch of food and get that weight back on, that we lost in the Ramadan. Let's just no discipline. No discipline. So imagine what we did in Ramadan. Let's just look at the last 10 nights of Ramadan. You develop that type of discipline of standing up at night, fasting during the day, reading the Quran during the day, only to come to the end of Ramadan and just toss everything behind your back and go back to the way that you were living. So what was the lesson that you got out of Ramadan? Nothing continued on. Nothing continued on with most of the people. Now I'm not saying with everybody. With some people it continued. With the majority of the people, once Ramadan ended, what? That all ended. It became a memory. Oh, that was such a good time that we had. That was such a good time. But all that discipline that you had to have to do the things that you were doing, gone. He's giving up as soon as Ramadan's finished. So look at it. So I don't understand. Like that right there, man, like seriously, man, Muslims, boy, we need to wake up. Because right now, man, that clock right now is on 11:59 and 59 seconds. Everything just ended. 11:59 and 59 seconds. You're just waiting for that 1 second to flip over. And that can happen at any moment. And we're just sitting ducks. We're not doing anything. At least we have our deen. We have some types of standards and some type of standards of discipline, self-restraint amongst us, and we're practicing the deen that we're alhamdulillah, we have hope. We have hope, but in our situation right now, Allahumma musta'an, akhi, wallahi, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be real crazy when stuff starts going south in this country and all the other countries of the world. Allahumma musta'an. Whatever questions you have. So the Serenians did tie into all this, didn't they?
I guess we're not taking Sharia or Bulugh al-Maram.
No, we start tomorrow with Bulugh al-Maram. I told you from the beginning, I said today's Friday.
Striving Slave says, can you talk about the concept of watering down religion?
Ah, man, I'm tired of talking right now. Let's give me some easy questions.
That is an easy question.
Huh?
That is easy.
The concept of watering down the religion is the concept of not teaching the deen as the deen. You try to make the deen palatable for all the people.
Shaving your beard for
Well, no, it's not just that. It's the worst thing is the watering down of the aqidah and not putting the placement of, like, if you're putting the focus on tawheed and putting the focus on the obedience to Allah, and this is the type of tarbiyah that you're bringing the people up under, then they don't have a problem with like growing their beard, trimming their pants, doing the things that they have to do, But the problem is the tarbiyah is not there because the people, again, they're watering down the deen. They're trying to make like the religion to where it fits everybody's lifestyle. No, you have to change your lifestyle. You're coming to this deen. This is the way of life. The way of life is set for you. This stuff is set in stone, akhi. There's no changing this. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. Khalas, it's over. The deen is complete. We don't need any other person to come along and tell us what we need to do as Muslims. The Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us that. He did his job. The balagh, that was his job. Relaying the message, and he did an excellent 100% good job, the best job any person on the face of this earth could ever do. He did it. So we have the message. We don't need some crackhead to come here in 2024 telling us like, oh, you don't have to do this. You don't know. We know what the Prophet told us to do. You have to change your lifestyle to fit this deen. Your lifestyle has to change. You can't bring all that kufr on the stuff that you lived in and try to mix it with the deen and try to make the deen where it fits everybody's culture. No. Your culture, you have to make those adjustments in your lifestyle. And each of us have to make those adjustments. We all come from different lifestyles. How are we going to make this deen fit my culture, your culture, his culture, everybody's culture? That's not how this works. We give up those things from our culture that go against this deen because we practice the deen. That's where the tarbiyah is. Learning the sunnah and practicing it the way that the Prophet ﷺ taught his companions. Not the way that you understand it from whatever like high school that you went to or whatever YouTube program that you're watching. No, we learn it from the sunnah. We learn it from the books of the sunnah. We make the adjustments. We change our lives to fit the deen. We don't change the deen to fit the lives of the people. So that's the watering down of the deen. So Allah musta'an, from translators and hotel managers.
كلاهما من مصر.
Yeah.
There were other questions, but you heard me on multiple accounts. Don't ask those kind of questions.
Well, I told you a lot of people probably gonna be asking the questions because of the Telegram post. Let me see what they are. Like, you find other questions. I'll check that. I know the questions people gonna be asking right now.
Okay, well, Striving Slave says, doesn't all that
Go ahead.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does. Something that you said like 10 seconds ago.
Striving Slave says, doesn't all that, parentheses, waking up, start with getting correct knowledge?
What do you mean waking up? Like waking up in the morning or waking up in your life? I mean, even getting correct knowledge, I think you gotta make habits. There's gotta be some habits that have to change in your lifestyle. Like, you gotta look at your lifestyle, right? Look at the things that you place importance in that have no benefit for you, right? And start replacing those things with things that what? And that bring you benefit, little by little, little by little. Nobody's telling you to just change all your life. But let's start with the morning, akhi, because what you do when you get up in the morning and what you start to feed your mind in the morning is the most important thing. You're waking up with dhikrullah. You're waking up, making wudu, praying some whatever Allah has written for you to pray, reading Quran, doing dhikr. You're doing, you come into the masjid, you praying the fajr, you read a little bit more Quran, then you go on about your day. Let's focus first on trying to fix that. Fix that first. Then we'll start to focus on other things. So all of these things need to change. To get the Muslim back to like the way the Muslim should be. So Allah musta'an. I want to say like go start right now, change your diet, change your life, change everything today. No, because you can't continue that. That's what I'm saying. I haven't read the whole book, so I can't say this is what he means, but I'm assuming by the title, Atomic Habits, which means like what? Just changing it one habit at a time, you know, and get used to that change, and then you add another change, and then another change, and start changing. But you have to make the intentions to change everything and work on it. But you can't just flip your whole life upside down and expect to be consistent with that. You want consistency, and you change little at a time. You know, focus on the morning. You change the morning, akhi. That's like, that changes a lot. You getting up at 4 o'clock every morning and you start your day off with the remembrance of Allah, with the recitation of His book, you know, with the fajr, you know, and whatever you can, and maybe, you know, a couple hundred burpees. Hey, akhi, that's a good. You know, like I said, you don't have to do 500 burpees. Do 50, do 20, but whatever. But do it consistently and do something every single day just to improve yourself physically, or mostly, you know, mentally and physically. You know. So, along this time, what's another question?
Another question. In order, Muslimin, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen said, is one obliged to study ahkam? I think they meant al-zawaj, but they call it al-jawaj. But al-zawaj,
Jawaj.
hey,
Okay.
I think they meant al-zawaj wal-nikah wal-talaq. When one is going to get married. Are they obliged to study the ahkam of zawaj,
Yeah, of course.
nikah, and talaq?
Anything that you're going to do in this deen, you need to understand the ahkam. That's why we're teaching it. That's why we're going through Bulugh al-Maram to teach the Muslims. Just because Muslims get married, and we need to know it. You know, that doesn't mean that you have to memorize, you know, Kitab al-Nikah from Bulugh al-Maram. You don't need to memorize it, but you need to understand it, and you need to know what's correct and what's not correct. So, however you do that, I mean, obviously the easiest way is just to memorize it. That's easy. You know, but if you don't, you know, at least understand it. No other questions?
That's it.
About the Dunkin' Donut question.
You leave that question.
Come on, what's the Dunkin' Donut
لا،
question?
لا،
I saw it. He said something about, he asked for one.
يلعب معك هذا.
Who was that?
هذا يعهو مزاحا هذا.
I saw Hamid say something about a donut.
يلعب معك. ما هوش جاي. يعني
Hamid?
غير جاد. هو
Oh.
مزاح. يزاح معك. يمازح معك. هوش جادا. مازحا.
Hamid Jamal says they wake up at 4 in the morning to walk their dog.
Like basically saying like kuffar.
Yeah, I know what he means, because I see the same old man. Like, who's the old man? Every single day that we drive past that airport, we see the same old man. He's out there walking every single day. And he just stares at us like, I know you. I said, man, we need to get out next time and just have some tea with the guy. Because it's like, we see this dude every single morning. Old Mexican guy. Well, you see he's like a nice guy. He probably would be nice to get out and have a chit chat with him. Every single morning he's out there walking that same path every single morning. And has that discipline. But I mean, the thing is, and you can't even get a Muslim up for Fajr. This is an old man. Looks like he's like 70 years old, right? Gets out and walks. Because, you know, those old school guys, right? They worked his whole life. Now he's like retired. He can't sit in the house. He got to get out and do something, man. So even at 70, 80 years old, man, he's like, I don't care. I'm going to walk 20 miles today. You know, and he does this every single day at the sunrise. You know, but you can't get a Muslim in the masjid for Fajr. You know, so long Musta'an.
Questioner about the zawaj says,
Jawaj.
is it considered backbiting if one says, I would rather hang out with my friend than any of my family, since their family wouldn't like them saying that about them? Maybe backbiting.
I won't be backbiting, but why would you say something like that anyway?
Like maybe someone lives in a toxic household, they'd rather hang out with their friends.
But most of the time, most of the times the people say that because their friends do stupid stuff and their family's strict. You know, that's most of the time why people say that. They want to hang out with their friends, which means what? Are they hanging out with their friends to go and study hadith and the stories of the Sahaba? No. Hanging out with their friends. What does that mean? What does that entail?
Going to the theaters.
Doing fun stuff, entertaining things, where they don't think like hanging out with the family is entertaining. You know, but at least you get rewards for sitting with your family. So, I mean, if you want the sin of going out wasting your time, or you want the reward for sitting with your family, you ready to leave or something? All right, man. Let's wrap this up. Who? Nobody called the adhan?
I did.
Okay, jazakallah khair. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.